So if this problem here, we have OA is equals to U, vector U, UB is equal to V, and OC equals to W. So let's write down what we have. This is U, this is V, and this is W. Okay, and then we have S and T. They're the midpoint of OB, and so which means that if I go from O to S, it will be half of OB. Yeah, and the same thing if I go from A to T here, that will be half of AC. Okay. Now the question is, what is the vector of S to T in terms of U, W, V? So the case here is that you need to understand that when we have this kind of question, you only need to find a path in which it involves all of the vectors here, U, W, and V, because it's at U, W, and V, right? Okay, so we can use a different path if you want. For example, if I want to go from S to V, I can go straight. But we don't know this, right? So we can use different path. For example, I can go there and then there. But again, I don't know how many parts is this in terms of OB, so I can't use that. And then the same thing if I go here and here. If I go, I don't really know this part as well, so I can't use that one. So instead, we can use a different method. For example, I'm going there, I'm going there, I'm going there, and I'm going there, and I'm going there, for example. Okay, but that takes too long, right? So we need to find like the shortest path and going there. Now if we want to see the path that is shortest, I think it's this one, from S to B, and then to B to A, and then A to T. See, so I begin with from S, and then I end up with T. Okay, now let's use that information to let's use that path to write down ST. So ST is equals to SB, right, from S to B, and then plus BA, and then plus AT. Okay, let me rephrase it again. SB is this guy, right, the first path, and then we have BA is the second path from here to here, right, and then the last one is this guy over here, AT, is from here to here. Can you see that? Again, I'm starting from S, I end up with T. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, let's break down what we have here. So, break down everything here. We know that SB, we know that S is the midpoint of OB, right? S is the midpoint of OB, meaning if OB is V, with from here to here is V, meaning if I go from S to B, it's just half of that, right? So this is half of V, this is also half of V. So I can change that, I can substitute this as B becomes half of V. Okay, that's the first one. The second one is BA. Now BA, it's not consisting of W, V, and U, but we can focus if we see the BA here, BA. Actually, we can create a path, right? So I'm gonna break that down. BA over here. So BA is equals to, again, we can actually create a path. I can go from B and then goes to A, but because I don't know that, I need to find another way. You can go like, for example, like going that way, and that way, but that's too long, right? So let's find another path that is easier, which is going from B and then going to O and then going to A. Can you see I start from B and then I end up with A, right? So I can write down as BA is equals to from B to O, right? BO plus from O to A. Okay, right? So let's click on that. And then we can see what we got here. So BO, can you see that BO is like the opposite of V? So it's the same as V, but it's in opposite direction. So meaning it's not V, but it's minus V. So this is equals to minus V. Okay. And then OA is this guy, which is U, right? So let's name it with U. Okay, so let's later on we're going to write this on as this, yeah, but let's just break down one by one. Okay, and oh yeah, let's just write down everything. Yeah, so it's minus V and then plus U. Okay, so that's the whole thing. I'm gonna like put some highlight here so you can see what would happen. This one is equals to this one here, right? BA is equals to this one, right? And the SB is this guy here is equals to this. Okay, now that leaves us with the last part, which is AT. I'm going to erase that a little bit, guys. So again, from A to T, we know that A to T, the T is midpoint of, sorry, it's not AT. Sorry, guys. This is AC. My bad. Okay, the midpoint of AC. So meaning if I go from A to t is just half of vector of AC. Now we can do the same thing like before, like breaking down like this from A to C, because this does not consist of W, V, and U yet, right? So we can start to focus on the AC. So can you see it again, AC? I can go from A to C, go directly there, but it does not involve the U, V, and the W. Now to involve that, meaning I need to go from A going to O first and then going to C, right? So I started with A, I end up with the C, right? So meaning I can write OAC as equals to AO plus OC. Again, yeah, I'm going to repeat it again. So going from A to C, you go this path from A to O, and then go that path, which is O to C, right? Okay, so why do we use that? Because again, you need to involve the U, W, and V, right? So that's why, okay, from A to O, it's like U, but it's the opposite direction, meaning that will be this minus U, right? Okay, and then U, O to C is just this W over here, right? So I can write down as W, okay, bad here, U, and then plus W, like that, okay? So then again, because we know that AT, right, AT is half of AC, right? So AT is equals to half of AC. So that will be just half of all of these guys over here, right? Okay, let me use the color differently. Okay, so that will be just half of bracket minus U and then plus W. Okay, now we can substitute the AT, right? So the AT is this guy here. We can substitute this AT by the whole thing over here, right? So that'll be plus, yeah, plus right here, and then half of bracket, and then we have negative U, and then plus W. Okay, so now all of the vectors has been written in terms of U, V, and W. So you only need to add them up, right? Okay, let's do it one by one. I'm gonna move this a little bit to the left. Okay. And then we can see that the half t does not change. This is half a v, and this is minus v, and this is plus u, and this one here you need to multiply like that, so you'll get minus negative 1 over 2 u, and then plus 1 over 2 of w. Okay, so this times this. Okay, now let's see what we got here. So we have a couple of terms that are like terms. Okay, so for example, this one over here, these two are v, so half v minus v is minus half of v, right? So equals to minus half of v. And we have this guy, right? The u, 1 minus half is half, right? So that we can write down as plus 1 over 2 u. And the last one is this guy. It doesn't have any like term, so you can write down like that. If you would like to what do you call factorize it, because all of them has half on it, okay, we can write it down as half. Can I write down half bracket negative v, right, and then plus u, and then plus w. Or if you want to change them around, for example, you want the u come first, you can write it down. It's up to you, actually. This is actually the same thing. Half times, for example, u first, and then the v comes next, and then the w goes last. And there you go.